Okay, I'm going to start with question 3 now. They have two triangles there. One triangle is inside of another. You see a lot of problems like that where they have one triangle inside of the other. Okay, so you need to get used to being able to set up those type of problems. Let's see here. I'm going to attempt to draw it. Okay, it says, how deep is the water 50 feet from the shore? So basically they gave you like an upside down triangle, and the shore is on this side over here. This is 50 feet from the shore, right? And let's see here. The height is h. The height of the little triangle is 1, and then the distance for the little triangle is 8. Okay, so basically, again, you have to set up your proportion. And the main thing that I'm concerned about is that you set the numbers in the correct spot, okay? If you're going to start off with the big triangle, do all the big numbers first. If you're going to start off with the little triangle, do all the little numbers first. So let's say I start off with the little triangle, okay? I'm going to do the little triangle. I'm going to do the distance, then the height, okay? So here's the distance, 8. The height is 1. See how simple that was? Now, when I go to the big triangle, I have to do the distance, then the height again. I can't switch it up and do the height first. Okay, I did distance, then height. So now I'm going to do distance with the big triangle, which is 50, and the height for the big triangle, which is h. Now all I have to do is cross multiply and divide. 50 times 1 is 50. 50 divided by 8 is 6.25, I believe. Let me double check to see how good my math is. 50 divided by 8. 6.25. Not bad, right? Okay, so the height is 6.25. Now let's go on to number 4. Well, number 4 is pretty much like number 3. So I'm not going to go on to that one. I'm going to go to number 5. It's the same thing in number 4. It's a triangle inside of another triangle. Nothing. Oh, yes, there is something different. See, it's good to read. Let's do number 4. Okay, number 4 is two triangles, one inside the other. The length of the big triangle is 20. Okay, length of the big triangle is 20. The height of the big triangle is 2.5. Okay, I kind of ran out of space over there. And the height of the little triangle is h. Okay, and look at the difference here. They did not give us the base of the little triangle. Do you see that? They did not give this number to us. They didn't give that to us. Big question mark. What they did give us is the space left over in here, from here to here. And they said that's 2, right? So think about it. If the whole thing is 20 and this little space is 2, how much is this space? 20 minus 2, right? So it's 18. So the base of the little triangle is 18. That's important because you can't assume that the numbers they give you are the numbers that you need for your proportion. You got to look at it, okay? When you set up your proportion, the big triangle, the base is 20, the height is 2.5. The little triangle, the base is 18, the height is h. See, if I would have put 2 in there, that would be wrong. That's not the base of the little triangle. So you got to be careful. You got to put the base in for the little triangle and then the height. You have to find the base for the little triangle first, though. So when I cross multiply 18 times 2.5 and then divide by 20, I get 2.25. Everything's ending in 2.25 today. Okay, so that's your final answer. That's how much the height of this triangle was. Okay, let's go to number 5 now. Okay. For number 5, this is when it starts to get a little tricky because they have two triangles facing one another. So the first triangle, it says, how far is the water ride from the roller coaster round to the nearest 10th? So here's your first triangle. I tried to draw them together. Let's see how well that's going to work out. So the first triangle is, the base is D and the side length is 45. And for the little triangle, the side length is 21 and the base is 10. So again, when you set up your proportion, make sure your numbers match. Make sure you have corresponding sides. Okay? So the base is D over here and the side length is 45. The base over here is 10 and the side length is 21. Okay? If you switch the 21 and the 10, it's wrong. If you switch the D and the 45, it's wrong. Okay? The sides have to correspond. This is a base and this is a base. This is a side length and this is a side length. See how they match up? Okay? So now we do our regular cross multiplication. 45 times 10 divided by 21. 45 times 10 divided by 21 equals, oh, it's a long number that they told me to round, so it's 21.4. Okay, B equals 21.4. Okay, and the very last question, number 6. Okay, and it says, how far is the entrance to the gymnasium from the band room? So basically, they gave you 3 measurements as usual and 1 left out. So you have 32 down here, 25 for the side length. Then for the other triangle, 30 is the side length and D is the base. So again, you see how I locate what's my base and what's my side length? Another way that you can tell is that there are 3 arcs here and 2 over here. And that matches up with this side, the D, because there's 3 arcs and 2 over here. So they're telling you this side and this side go together. That's what they're trying to tell you, that those 2 sides match up. Okay, so when you set up your proportion, you need to match up those 2 sides. So let's say I start with this triangle first. 25 is my side length, 32 is the base. So on this side, 30 is my side length, and D is my base. You see how I made sure that 32 and D matched up? See, 32 is lined up with D. 25 is lined up with 30 because those are the 2 side lengths. So these little arcs help you also to tell you which sides are corresponding. Okay? So now, let's cross multiply. 32 times 30 divided by 25. 38.4 is my final answer. Okay? So hopefully this is starting to make some sense to you. Of course, we'll go over it more in class. But the main thing is setting up your sides correctly. That's the only thing I could stress to you that I could see you making a mistake on. Make sure you have corresponding sides. Just don't throw any number anywhere and think because it's in two fractions or in a proportion that's going to work. You have to set them up the right way. Okay? And the back of your worksheet, you have a homework to do on Monday.